And we're back, the Gridiron, with our guest, Vice President of the Iona Rugby Football Club. Well, so am I, so we can't, can't be putting too much attention on you, Greg, as always. But, let's go into it. I know this is the Gridiron, and we were talking a little bit on the past show about the World Cup, just kind of like the ambiance, just the general gist of what rugby really, really is for the good majority of the world, really. It's the second largest sport in the world, really, right behind soccer. I don't think many people actually know that rugby is so huge to so many people. And I just kind of want to go into it a little bit better about our club more specifically. Iona Rugby Football Club. We're up and coming, We're still. I think we basically have our footing. We basically have our groundwork pretty set, well laid out right now. But little good tweaks here and there. But I think now, next year, in the future, next 2 years or so, us as graduates, alumni more so, at that time, will have such a greater impact for the club because there'll be so much more future for our team. And I just kind of want to ask you, what do you see as possibly up and coming? What do you see as the next big thing going on?
There's a lot of stuff that we want to do with this rugby team. There's a lot of things a lot of really good ideas, a lot of really good thoughts, but the only thing is we just need to put some actions into it. I keep thinking about all this stuff that I really want to do with this team and how great it would be for the team, and a lot of it is just we just need to get a team together, and I'm not a rugby team, just get a group of guys together and start doing some of the stuff. Put together a sevens tournament, get more sponsors,
right?
Make it more look like an official team.
Right. Just get more money flowing through the team. We talked about that earlier with the World Cup of just about how Dan Carter is one of the highest paid rugby players in the world. But regardless of that fact, it's not the individual payment. It's more so that we need the club to needs money to just be able to travel. B, to be able to do some functionality things to make us look more like a team as an essence. But I think we have a pretty good groundwork. I contribute that mostly to Bruce, and I think that's just what a coaching staff does. It establishes groundwork. Do you see? I know as me as vice president, and you as a vice president, and Maral as the president of our club, and I think we're gonna have her on next week just because we really need to see a little bit more of her around. But what do you see? Do you see a stronger e-board coming into the future? What do you see as a club doing more so, not so much on the field, but off the field?
Well, some things like I said before, some things I really want to put together is definitely try to get a sevens tournament here, make it a quote unquote Quinstock Sevens, make it a whole ALS fundraiser, for Quinn for the win. Get more sponsors for the team. My ultimate goal is just to basically make game day an event. I basically want to make it. I want to make it feel like you're coming to an event. I don't want you just
something to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't want people to just show up and watch a rugby game. I want them to understand the whole experience, listen to the music that we play for them warming up, listen to the lineups, have an anthem at every game. And this year we've been really good about it. We've done a really good job about it. My roommate John Rocco has really been really helpful with the music and the production side of it. And he's definitely an essence to helping to contributing to the goal that we're trying to eventually reach. But no, we definitely have some good stuff in place, and we just need to really just go forward with it.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? It's just honestly homecoming was the personification of just honestly what Iona Rugby Club has been working so hard to do. And it was such a game day. It was such a game changer when we beat Army. And I think that really personified. It really shook up the infrastructure of Iona as a whole. No other organization on campus is as great as us. I'm sorry. There is no other organization on campus greater than us. Because we are the most... You'll see us even at 6 o'clock in the morning just working our butts off. Because it's just, that's what we do. It's what Iona Rugby does. And I think more so than anything, it's just, we make sure that these things happen because we want to make game day such a special thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we want to make sure that everyone on campus looks forward to, just as much as they would for the basketball team.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying before about waking up at 6 in the morning. Yeah, some of the guys are waking up. The guys are waking up 6 in the morning, working their butts off to make sure they're in the best shape that they can be. At the same time, one thing that we really moved away from this year that I'm really happy about, which is really going to be helpful, is having an e-board that doesn't play. And having an e-board that doesn't play really helps because they can really
can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, players can really. My whole idea was when I presented this to Bruce was I want the players to focus more on playing, and I want us to focus more on getting them the most attention that they can possibly get from being on this team. And that's what we did. We moved forward. We got Morale as president. Gus Ramirez is also a vice president. He doesn't play anymore. Myself, due to injury. And it works out really well. We can really help make it an event. I'm up in the press box. I'm up in the press box, making sure the music, the scoreboard, the announcing is all going smoothly, which it usually does. Everything usually works really well. Everyone works together really well too. Morale's very helpful too. She runs around during game day, just fixing all the little stuff that needs to be fixed.
More so just give kind of more you credibility. I mean, like, you really just kind of graced over it. I mean, you really deserve more accreditation than you gave yourself right there. I mean, the announcements are on point. I mean, I see the script that you gave Rocco even when you were away refereeing. It's just like, you put so much work on like the small details that really matter, because those things can get really muddled. I mean, you get an amazing singer to come out and sing our national anthem. I mean, I think that really, really struck hard for the Army, because I mean that's one of the biggest things. That's something that is their aura. I mean, like they serve our country at that military academy, and I think what really you do as a vice president is completely underappreciated by most of the the campus worldwide, because they don't understand. They don't have a voice that says that for you, and I think that you need to understand that what you do for the club really impacts it as a whole, and it's something that you really need to see that. Most like it just even like the whole announcement list, the way you even go about saying it, all the numbers for our players that are starting, and even some of the reservists that come out and do that, and you just see that with our full on stocked out crowd. You see that when it comes to sidelines. You see that when it just comes to communication with Bruce. You see that when it comes to communication with the referees on the field. And I think more so, I can really see you progressing as possibly a president for next year, but just because there'll be such a better form of like other match referees or match officials that we'll be able to have, because you'll be able to have those resources of people that are like, hey, we can't pay you. I'm sorry, we're not that strong of a club, but if you invest your time with us, and just knowing that people trust you to do those kind of type things, knowing that people will really look up to you to be able to do such actions, you'll be able to have those connections of people coming in on campus to just volunteer their time, to contribute their time to just making sure that we have the most perfect rugby. And we're really just going back to that New Zealand commercial for AIG, really. It's just that every little detail, the bus driver, the guy that brings out the pads, the guy that fills your water up, those little details make for the ever-growing biggest things for the sport. And it's not, and the players shouldn't look at that and say, you're here because of me. No, you're there because of me, because it works both ways. And I just want to like kind of go off a little bit off of that. What do you, I mean, even more so, I mean, what could you see differently done on game day? I mean, what could you see? I mean, is it an announcement type thing, or is it on the field more so? Is it more just from a coaching standpoint?
No, honestly, everything on game day has been running a lot smoother than from when we first started. When we first started, we didn't have as much as we do now, but what we have now is actually fantastic, and it's a lot of fun being up in that press box, playing the music, and doing the announcing and whatnot. Some things that I do wish, I do definitely want more people to jump on board. I want more of a production crew. I'm not a mass comm major. I don't care about talking.
Nor am I.
Like I'm doing this right now. I'm talking for the sake of talking, and I do the announcing during the games for the sake of having somebody do it. But my idea is that I want to try to get somebody who is, which I have found someone. He's just been super busy lately. I want to find someone to come and announce the games so it can further themselves. It can further themselves in what they want to do in their future, which may be announcing at sporting games. And I told them, I said, hey, you might not know anything about rugby, but come and sit up in the booth with me. You can do the announcements, and I'll help you out, and you'll learn everything you need to know about rugby within a week or two.
Right. And you know what? I mean, I think that's just phenomenal for you even to say, to just step aside and say, yeah. I mean, I know you know rugby. Tie of words right there. But I do really know that. You know that because it's just you come out and you step aside. You say like, I want to announce these games, but I just don't want to announce anymore because I know that there's someone that really wants to do those type things because it's just what they do. It's just what they want to do is announce on the radio for games or whatever it may be, regardless, because that's just what's going to be the beauty of the game, and it's really how we're going to be able to grow as a sport.
Yeah, one thing I really want to bring back is we were really good about having our games live streamed online. We put them up through YouTube, and we had people doing the commentary for the live stream. And that's just more people I would need for the production crew. I think that would be really good for the team. Yeah, so I think that's definitely one thing I want to try to get back to doing.
I mean, what other things do you see yourself stepping aside from? I mean, I know you as a vice president. You don't want to just be pushing paper, of course. I mean, nor do I. But what do you see us doing that'll make us? I mean, you stepping aside as an announcer. Do you see yourself moving back towards WICR to be able to do this on the radio so that way you can basically commentate the game, or do you want to see some other people that are better prepared for something like that? Someone who has more knowledge of the game that are ready to do stuff like that. I mean, because there's such a field for people that want to engage in such a type of.
Yeah, I think there's more of a market for kids who want to get their hands into helping out. Kids who just want to be part of announcing games and covering games and stuff like that. And this is a really good opportunity for them. We've had kids. Moral is our president's is a mass comm major, and she's part of ICTV, so she'll do a report on the games afterwards and do an interview with the coaches and incorporate highlights in the videos. They come out really good and really helps with the publicity of the team. Those videos have been used by some of the biggest rugby websites for the sake of that. They're there. Like, they're good videos. They're good for people to use. And it really does help our team look a lot more official and looks like a lot more of an event.
Johnny over here. But yeah, what is he doing? He's bringing that type heat. He doesn't even know we're talking about rugby right now. But it's all right. No. He good thing he's not even on camera right now. But he knows my big Broncos are going to come out on top. But regardless, I didn't want to go back on topic. I mean, and I see, yeah, then we're getting kind of close to the end of our show. I mean, we got a good 3 minutes till. But and I know I'm going to be dragging you out because I need you here for right now. But I really want to see a women's rugby team. And I know I'm progressively coming towards something that will possibly be groundbreaking for the club and be a little bit more associated towards what's going to be going on. I think that a women's rugby team would be phenomenal for our game. Just because there isn't that many women's sports on campus that'll be really progressive towards women as a whole, because you need a women's team just as you need a men's team. And I think that'll bring such a big opportunity for our club to be a lot more legit for when it comes to dealing with our school as a whole. I mean, and I know Dr. Robert Nair, our president of our school, really addresses us as a whole and shows the utmost respect for us. And it's such a beautiful thing just to see this communication between it. But regardless, I'm going to have to end the show right there, folks. And I think if you're a woman out there and you're here with Iona College, I really want to see you guys out on the pitch. It's a great sport to learn. Don't think it's too violent for you. Don't think you're unathletic enough. I'm your host, Patrick McGuire, with my guest, Greg Potempa. I'd like to thank you all for listening to the show. This has been The Gridiron. We'll see you next week.